What is going on, guys? Welcome to the evening live session here on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day so far. Hope you had a great week so far. I'm just getting these two pages set up here so that we can get started. And tonight, we are actually going to go over the top 10 careers that have a high rate of depression and anxiety. And why I felt that it was important to go over depression and anxiety, especially right now, is because the holiday season is the highest rate of deaths, people that are having heart attacks and stroke based on stress and anxiety and things of that nature. Excuse my tone because my nose is still clogged. I am still sick, but I knew that we had our session for this evening and I did not want to show up for you guys. So I am here. Now, I know that the email is just sending out for you guys and you'd be clicking on that good stuff. Let me just make sure I have everything right here. Okay, so you're both on here. All right, guys. And I see you over here at the YouTube family. Of course, I can't see your names unless you post. So feel free to say hello. Wish me well. Pray for me because your girl has been sick the past couple of days. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. I have been sick. Like literally 10 minutes ago, I ran around and got my face on so that I could be presentable for you guys. What's up, Stu? I see you jumping on here as well. So again, this message is so important. There's so many of us individuals who are suffering from depression and suffering from anxiety, and we don't talk about it. You know, I've been seeing a lot of things again popping up on social media. Um, I see it in the news, you know, and a lot of times it's too late whenever somebody knows what's going on, and maybe you don't even realize what is going on with you. But just focusing so much more so on our positions, on our businesses, and how what we do from a day-to-day basis can trickle down into our family lives, right? And in everything all around. And if you are struggling to wake up, thank you, Stu. Girl, I've been drugged for the last 3 days. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. I'm feeling a little bit better today, but thank you. But hopefully while we go through the information that I gathered through some studies and reading online of some articles, you can identify what maybe that is something that's going on with you. And by identifying those things, it helps us to be able to make a difference to change it, right? So I'm just going to jump right in. And of course, at the very end of going over the 10, I'm going to talk about how that relates to the insurance industry because most of us in the same way. And again, the 10 careers with the high rates of depression. And I'm going to just read down the list of the careers. All right. In case it's a career you may have been thinking of getting into, it is very important to understand and do some research, right? The first one is nursing homes and child caregivers, right? So if you work in a nursing home or a child caregiver, you work a lot of hours. It's very demanding, and the pay is pretty. It's not what it should be for the stress that you are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. The second one is in the food staff services, and it is noted that it is high stress because it's high demand. You're dealing with a lot of people, the community, and nobody really recognizes you as an individual. You're just serving them food and they're just getting what they need and they're moving on. So you're not even really recognized as a person. You're just there, right? Social workers, obviously dealing with a lot of family members that are dealing with stressful situations, and your heart can be tied into those things. And you start to probably give a little more than what you're supposed to. And there's a lot of red tape with being a social worker. So you have to be very careful what you say and what you do, but you're constantly giving. Number five, excuse me, four is the health care workers. Kind of the same thing with the social workers. Five are artists, entertainers, and writers. Now, of course, those individuals are freelancers, a lot of them, and they are hustling all the time to get paid. So it's a lot of stress with trying to have a constant income, stability, things of that nature. Number 6 is the teacher, dealing with our kids today. And I think that's enough that needs to be said, and dealing with their parents at sometimes. But again, they do a lot of work and they are not paid what they should be paid. Okay. The administrative support staff is number 7. Number 8 is the maintenance and ground workers. They kind of fell in the same field as the food staff services, not really being recognized as people. They just are workers, if you will, and not being paid what they should or could be paid. And then number 9 is the finance advisors and the accountants. And when I was reading that, I had to laugh because I'm thinking, oh, yeah, what I read was basically they are dealing with millions and millions and millions of dollars of somebody else's money. And they don't always have control over the stock market or what's going on in the world of numbers. But the people that are trusting them to um, make their money grow, you are responsible. And so there's a lot of pressure with dealing with other people's money. And number 10, if you guys didn't know or didn't figure it out, number 10 is the sales people. The sales people are number 10 in having a highest rate of depression. So they fall in that range. And this is so important to understand and really tap into what it takes to be a salesperson, what it takes to be in this type of arena. Um, oh, I jotted down a few things that I thought about. Now, again, let me back up. This article was coming from Tammy Worth. She was somebody that wrote the top 10 careers that had the high rate of depression. And again, it was the sales rep part that I obviously can identify with because of the fact that we are in sales. And I listen to agents all the time. I have calls that are coming in. I have emails that come in. I have some people that are their patients right now, a little less than probably it was 6 months ago. And it's a lot to do with the fact that we are now upon a holiday. And this could be the first year that you're in the sales arena. It could be the second, third, fourth, fifth, or even sixth year. And still you have not completely figured out or managed your money the way that you thought you would or should or could have done. And so you're feeling that pinch right now with the expectations of your family members, your children, and even on yourself. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves as to what we think we should have or where we think we should be at this point in time, right? And so some of the things that I wrote down was that cause anxiety and stress and depression is the irregular pays, not knowing when you're going to get your next pay, not knowing how much that pay is going to be. I'm not knowing what deductions are going to come out of your commission pays, things like that. The uncertain hours, not really knowing how many hours it's going to take you to hit the goal that you set for yourself or your manager may have set for you. So the long hours, uncertain time frames. And then working alone. Although you may have a full team of agents and a crew that you work with, 9 times out of 10, if you are in sales, you are in the field by yourself. You are making the calls by yourself. You're knocking the doors by yourself. You're sitting in a home by yourself. So you are working alone, and that can affect some people emotionally. And then we have the traveling to unknown areas, not knowing where you are, if you're in a bad area or not. If somebody is going to, try to attack you or say something that makes you uncomfortable or any of those things, this unfamiliar territory that causes stress and anxiety if you allow it. All right. And then the pressure to produce. Again, when you're in sales, you are required to produce. And depending on your team, depending on your personal goals, depending on a lot of things, that could be a lot of pressure on you, especially around the holidays when you're already feeling uncomfortable with working on your own. Okay, especially right now. The thoughts come to our mind. Are they going to be home? Are they out of town? Are they decorating? Do they have the money to buy this right now or to buy that right now? All of these things are in our minds when we are going out to try to do our job right now. And we'll get into that in a minute. Well, actually, we can get into that right now. So going down into the definition of depression, it is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and a loss of interest. It affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. Now, some people may think, "Oh, well, I'm not depressed." That's very uh, that's a harsh word. I wouldn't say I'm depressed. I wouldn't say that I have, anxiety. But if you are an individual who, you have no drive, and you are one that normally has a drive, and you normally want to jump up and, hit the field or get on the phone calls, or you want to talk to people about your business, and you're finding yourself not wanting to engage, you're finding yourself not wanting to get up in the mornings, and you're not sick, you didn't have medicine, right? But you just don't have that desire to do what you know you're supposed to do. You could be dealing with a form of depression. Um, how you can help, and again, let me just put it out there. You guys know I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist, although I've seen quite a few of them. Uh, but I'm not, I know not to laugh because I'm gonna have a coughing attack. Um, However, you know, you pay attention to those things about yourself, and around the holidays, it's a good idea to have the conversations with the people that are around you, to let them know that, hey, maybe last year you were doing something different, and last year you had, the money, and you had the savings account to be able to buy the gifts that they're used to receiving from you, or to be able to do the things that you normally would do, and this year it's different. Instead of holding in that pressure and feeling, unworthy, or feeling as though, you are no good, and that everybody's going to hate you and be upset with you, and not believe in your vision for your business. Instead of going through all that, have that conversation ahead of time. You know, Hopefully you save this video and you watch it again next year, so that you can have that conversation ahead of time, before a week before Christmas. But definitely, there's things that we can do throughout the course of the year, so that we are not pressured when the holidays come, when there's a loved one's birthday, when there's Mother's Day and Father's Days. If these are holidays that you guys typically celebrate, and people are used to receiving or would like to receive things from you, you need to, just like with your taxes, you need to put money to the side for those things. And it could be just $10 a month or $20 a month. Get creative. Guys, you don't have to have a whole lot of money to be able to give to a loved one. You can be creative and make something, right? You can create a card and let them know, listen, mommy or daddy loves you so much, and I'm really building this business. And in 5 years, it's going to be better. Now, granted, kids are not really going to understand that. But when we have conversations and we talk about things on a real level, then their expectations will not be so high, and people can understand, and they can help you through this as well. We also have to keep in mind that people all around us are going through depression and anxiety. So you don't know if they have a lost loved one that they're thinking about during this time. And this is even when we're in the field as life insurance agents, and we are knocking on the doors, and we're wondering why some people don't want to be bothered right now. They may be thinking, I do not even want to talk about life insurance when I just lost my uncle, my aunt. And it may have been 3, 4 years ago, but it was at Thanksgiving or it was at Christmas, right? So it's very important to not only tap into your own emotions and what is going on, but also tap into the people's emotions and think about what they may be going through when you are knocking on that door. So we really have to get into our own hearts and into the hearts of others if we want to be successful during this time of the year. Now, end of the years is hard because it's Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, then it's New Year's. Like we have boom, 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 and then it's Valentine's Day. And again, that's not really a big one, but the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, and New Year's is. That's where a lot of people are trying to get with family, with loved ones. And when people are dying, they're no longer there. We remember those people, and we remember that they're no longer with us. And so this is one of those times a year where, the depression and anxiety set in. So I'm sorry, I'm reading a note here. And Monica, she just put, This is true, Chrissy. I would bake cookies for my friends on their birthday. They love it because it's homemade. Exactly. And it's like what it costs you, what, $6, $7 maybe to get everything you need to make cookies. And you could have all the ingredients right at home. It's the thought that counts, right? So instead of going and thinking that you have to go buy the big Xbox or the PlayStations or the $1,200 cell phones that these kids are asking for, we could be a little more practical and do other things. The one thing that I am grateful for in my household with my family is that we have always done big dinners. And although making a lot of food could be a little pricey, it is nowhere near the cost of going and trying to buy a ton of gifts to put up under a Christmas tree for teenagers or for kids, right? So, what'd you say?
They don't appreciate the stuff anyway.
And Raheem added, and a lot of times the children don't appreciate the things anyway, because they're things we're picking out, and they're like, I didn't want that, I wanted X, Y, and Z, whatever. But in our house, we definitely talked about it throughout the years that the holiday is not for that. It's for family. It's for, communicating, for loving on one another, being grateful that we are here. And we buy stuff all year round. I mean, all the time for each other. And so it shouldn't be this great big thing, especially around Christmas, right? And that's just our household. But again, if it is a traditional thing for you guys to do that, then you plan ahead. Make sure throughout every single month you put a little bit of money to the side and you don't touch it. Put it in that bag for gifts and you don't touch it. I don't care if the brakes go bad, the tires go bad. If that is something that is serious to you, that is causing you anxiety and depression right now, make sure as we are moving forward into a new year, you do your due diligence and put some money to the side specifically for the birthdays, for the holidays, for the family trips, things that are very important for you that are causing you stress because you cannot do them. We all can do those things. We all have made enough money. We just didn't manage it. All right. So, and I know I hear like 100 people saying, I didn't make enough money to be able to do it. I can't manage the money I don't have. You can. We all can. And that's part of the money management, understanding the dollar and buying things. There's a lot of us that spend the money before we make it. We have that mindset of, well, I don't have to really worry about saving any money because I know that I can write an application and get paid and then I'll be able to do that. And guess what? It doesn't work. It does not always work. And then you're stuck and you're stressed and your loved one is looking like, what happened? Right? So let's not run our businesses last minute. We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can all the time so that we are prepared for the things that we say are really important. Right? I had a talk with a young lady and she was super stressed out, really depressed. And I had asked her, well, what does she want? And we sat there on that phone for a couple of minutes in silence. And I'm like, are you still here? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, what is it that you want? And she said, I really don't even know. How many of us don't really know what we want? Whether it be in our family, whether it be in our finances, whether it be in our careers. Like, how many of us really know exactly how we would like our family to be, how we would like our families to run, how we would like our business to be ran? How, what really makes us happy? Have you really taken that time to sit down and think about it? Or are you constantly scrolling through social media and looking at all the beautiful pictures and all the happy smiles and all the pictures and what family members are doing and what they're showing you? And you're judging your household and your family or your own life as though it's not good enough. Because that happens on a regular. But we have to keep in mind, people are not always posting. They're not posting everything. They're not posting their sad days until, they do. But they're not. And that's what social media is for. It's for the likes. It's for the hearts. It's for encouragement. It's for uplifting. But it's not for you to go in there and judge your household thinking that it should be like somebody else's. Because trust me, you don't know the whole story of those families at all. Might want to be careful with that. If you are somebody that is like that, then you need to get off of social media, because it's not fair for your loved ones, your family, to have to try to level up or level down or whatever you want to call it to match something that's not even a realistic vision. But going back to yourself, what is it that you need? Even for yourself, what you should be doing or want to do. What are the things that make you happy? It's important to know. So I would ask you guys to take some time for yourself and really write down what it is that it's going to take for you to be happy and have joy within yourself that nobody else can affect. Sure, you're going to have days and hours and moments where somebody, is like, dang, that really hurt my feelings, but not to the part where it's in your core where you can't bounce back from that immediately. It shouldn't take you days and days to feel better about anything because life is too short. It's way too short. And if you really stop and think about what are the things that are making you sad, what are the things that are making you depressed, the things that are causing that anxiety, if you're starting to feel, the heavy breathing and the sweating and you're just like very uncomfortable, it's what's going on in your mind. What are you believing in that moment? What are you thinking about in that moment? Do have the control. I don't believe that everybody has to have medication to get past an anxiety attack or get past, a depression. I believe we've all been there. I know I have. And I will not go on medication for it because I have always, thank God, been able to pray myself through it, change my mindset on it, just, write a journal and then I burn it so that people aren't reading it and judging based off of what they're reading because they don't understand what I'm going through. It's important to really do a self-evaluation, but it's also important to have your family members and your friends, whoever you are affecting or who's being affected by you, understand what is going on with you. Don't think that they're just going to know. All right. But when we are getting paid on a commission base, it is so important not to be so excited and spend all your money when you got the big deposits, because sometimes you fall into that area where the deposits are not coming as frequently. And now you get hit with a holiday or something's coming up that you really would like to do. And you're trying to maneuver money and taking it from your credit cards to do this and to do that, which is causing more debt. Right? So, any questions, any comments? I know this was it wasn't a strictly training session today, but it was definitely one that was laid on my heart earlier today that we needed to talk about and just understand that you're not alone. Feel free to post any comments or questions on here on your YouTube or on Facebook. I do have it on Facebook today. I know my nose is like super stuffy. That's this cold. I've been fighting, you guys. I slept all night. I went to bed early last night and was crashed until like 2 o'clock, and then I'm ready to go to sleep again, guys. Oh, you're welcome, Stu. She said she loves this topic. Thanks again. Yeah, it's real. Unfortunately we try to hide it. We try to hide the down moments, days, weeks that we have because everybody's always looking up to us within this business, and it's real. And we just have to really pay attention to ourselves and do the things that make us happy. If you like just walking by yourself, take a walk. If you like to go to the movies, go to the movies. You like to don't eat a whole lot of food because then we're going to be, heavy and unhealthy, and then we're going to really be depressed. So don't do that. But find it different things, crossword puzzles, things that really can calm you and relax you. All right. Modest Kim says for leads, how many calls do you make? Do you call until you are able to reach them if you can't reach them at home? Okay. So jumping over to the leads. Kim, honestly, I do not typically call my leads. If I'm going in the field and I'm door knocking, I do not call my leads before I door knock. I straight door knock. I find the most success just popping up at the door, and I'm able to control my business more by just showing up. That way I get about 10 to 15 leads that are in an area that I'm able to hit 2 or 3 times within a course of a day. And that way, I mean, they live there. Most of the time, I'm going to be able to catch them there, and I make them have the most success doing it that way. I make the phone calls and the videos because people ask for training videos on setting appointments. There are agents, several agents that are very successful with calling and setting appointments. I've done both, and I maximize my time by door knocking, because if I set an appointment and they aren't there, and my next appointment is not for 2 hours, it can kind of throw me off if I don't have any other leads right in that area, and then I've wasted some time where I could have been door knocking. So I don't typically make phone calls before I work my leads. Okay, so just being honest with that. As far as when I make the phone calls, I am going to dial that phone number 3 times in a row. So I'm dialing it once, they don't answer, I hang up, I dial it again, they don't hang up, I'm dialing it again, especially if I'm working out of the area. Okay? Excuse me. So most of the time they're going to think it's a telemarketer, but telemarketers don't call right back. And then if I call the third time and they don't answer, I will leave a voicemail. Sometimes not, but for the most part, I'll leave a voicemail. And I basically just say, hey, this is Christine. I have the information you requested about the Funeral Advantage program that assists the seniors. It's time sensitive. I need you to give me a call back. Let me know when the best time for hand delivery is. Thank you very much. Have a great day. So I will leave a message. And again, especially when I'm out of town. Okay. You said, do you call until you are able to reach them? Yeah. So again, I'm door knocking. I'm a door knocker. If I'm doing the telesales, then yeah, I'm going to keep on calling until somebody answers that phone. I'll send a letter and I'll call again. And I might send another letter or a postcard, and then I'm going to call again. Because of course, the telesales is different. You're not door knocking them. So you need to call until you get them. And you could call 3 or 4 times in the same day. Telemarketers do it all the time. When if you are making appointments and calling, you are the telemarketer at that time. Do not be afraid of the phone. Even if they tell you no, go door knock them anyway. Again, if you are a door knocker. And if you are on telesales and they tell you no over the phone, give it a week and call them back. Yep. Just continue to go to their home. Throughout the week, I would hit a morning, afternoon, and evening, hit them on a Saturday. And then we were doing 1 or 2 Sundays a week. A month. Excuse me. I should have brought my water down here. 1 or 2 Sundays a month, because sometimes you can't catch them until a Sunday. And I know that there's a lot of agents that don't like to work on a Sunday or refuse to work on a Sunday. People are home on a Sunday. People are working on a Sunday. So it's a preference. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Tanya. I hope I feel better too. I will. Trust me, when I get done with this, I'm going to take another NyQuil and I will be asleep for the rest of the evening. Hopefully I'm good. I have an agent to take out in the field tomorrow. And the last thing I want to do is to be hacking in somebody's home. But, we have to continue on. Thank you. What is that, lemon in there? Thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Dee. Hubby got me some lemon juice, lemon water. Ginger and honey is amazing, Kim. We don't have any ginger in here, but ginger is my favorite. One of my girls was telling me ginger earlier today, but I didn't leave out of here. All right, so we had a 30-minute session for you guys this evening. Let me see if we have anything else pop up. Hamadullah, I hope I said that correctly. How are you? God says, with difficulties come ease. Don't be putting no G-D on there. You better put that G-O-D. I believe in God. Put God on there. God says, with difficulty comes ease. Surely with difficult comes ease. So regardless of what we are involved in, things get difficult, but we rely on God. Yes, we do. Prayer works wonders. That's where you gain all your peace and understanding, for sure. Thank you for adding that to the call or to the session. Don't be putting no G-D though on my thing. You put God on there. I'm all right with that. Don't make me laugh either. Good stuff. Thank you for the ad. Guys, and again, if you are not on my mailing list, send a text to me. It's text life now, no space, to the numbers 22828. You will be asked to send your email back on the text message. That'll add you to my emailing list. I do not spam anybody. Actually, a couple people asked me, why haven't I been sending emails out? I cannot spam you. I am not, I'm too busy for that, but I will definitely send emails with information that I believe is timely. And also whenever I upload a live session. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel because I do upload videos throughout the week that I do not send an email on that. Again, I'm not going to spam your email with just extra information. But again, subscribe and hit the bell. That way you're notified when I post a video. It'll send you an email, YouTube will, and that way you can click on it whenever time permits for you. And I believe that's it. Guys, we're almost at the end of this year. Oh, my Lincoln Heritage people. Let me tell you what I got an update on because I messed up on this last year. And I just wanted to make sure you guys don't mess up this year as far as the activity. All right. So Lincoln Heritage will be open, and anybody else that's in an insurance industry, check with your company as far as when they are processing your apps the last day. But this is again is for the Lincoln Heritage life insurance agents. Lincoln Heritage this year is working on on December 31st. All right, regular hours, December 31st, and they are closed on January 1st. So all your business that you key in the secure app on December 31st, you can key in apps that are dated for December 31st, dated for January 1st, and dated for January 2nd. And those apps will be calculated for December production. So your end of the year production, as well as you will get paid on those apps on December 31st, even though they are dated for January 1st and 2nd. And that is because Lincoln is closed on the 1st. So with the iPad or the secure app, the very next business day will calculate for this month. All right. Now, if you are writing paper apps, you can write a paper app. Make sure you mail that paper app on December 30th to get to Lincoln by the 31st. However, you can have post-dated checks dated for January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because it's the first 3 business days of the next month that'll count. And since they're closed on the 1st, that means 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are the next 3 business days that we can have post-dated checks. Again, it's a paper app with the check stapled and mail it out on the 30th of December. And that way Lincoln has it on the 31st. The apps that you can with Secure App on the 31st, make sure you are keying them in, if possible, 30 minutes before your cutoff. So here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, we need to have those keyed in by 4:30, right? 5 o'clock is the cutoff. But if those apps are not getting pushed in on time, it's not going to count. And you guys know everybody is pushing for the end of the month numbers. Hello, Miss King. Get y'all's numbers in. I messed up royally last year because of the first of the year. And I didn't want to mess up this year. So I made the phone call and I wrote it down so that I would know. And I wanted to make sure that I said that on this session. So make sure you understand your cutoff times, your cutoff days, and your post-dated checks, what they're going to count for your business if you're not with Lincoln Heritage. Amen. Amen. I have patience with you. I appreciate that. Yes. All right, guys. So that's it for me. Any other questions, comments? It does not have to be on, of course, the topic that we were discussing tonight, although I felt that it was necessary to talk about those things. We need to be proactive in understanding our business and where we are within each business, right? All right, guys, I believe that's it. So next week is, what is our date for next Thursday? Oh, it's the 26th. So it is the day after Christmas. Um, so I'll see you guys next week. I will be on next Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Mark your calendars. Again, if you are not on my emailing list and you would like to be on it, send a text message to the numbers 22828. Type life now, LIFENOW, no space, and then enter your email address, and you will be added onto my mailing list. All right. And David said, at some time, would you talk about getting into gated senior communities that are pet guarded gate or double gates? I'll do that real quick right now, David. That's a fairly easy one. So David Williams asked, basically, how do we get into the gated senior communities that are pet guard gate or double gates? So, the gated communities are a challenge to get into. Some of those gated communities, I know that when I had worked out in an area here called Pike County, um, we have those envelopes, the Lincoln Heritage and Manila envelopes, and I would carry a stack of those with me when I would work in that area. And that way I can actually put a folder with my door cracker letter or a personalized letter. And I would just have a line so I could write in the lead's name. So of course I didn't pre-print those. I just had um, a line so I could put the client's name on there or lead's name on there in case I couldn't get in. But I created a packet and then I would have the booklet in there as well as the wood grain. And I'd have it sealed. And on the front, I would have with the marker written their name, their address, and the whole nine. And then I would go up to the front of the gate and I would say, "How you doing? My name is Christine. I deliver packages for individuals, and I have a delivery for such and such." Sometimes they will call up and they will say, "Hey, I have so and so, and it looks like it's from Lincoln Heritage with a package for you. Can I let them in?" Sometimes they will let you in. Sometimes they won't. But what they will allow you to do is leave that packet at the door, at the gate. And at that point, the letter in there lets them know, please call me for rates and for me to answer any questions that you have. That way they can call you. And sometimes I've had people call me once they got their packet, like, "Oh, okay, I know what this is. Come back at such and such time." And when I would go back and I was able to get into that gated community, trust and believe, because I do use that map view, I will look and see what other leads that I've had in this community that I was not able to get to. And while I'm in there, I'm getting everybody that I possibly could while I'm in there to see that one person. So you have to get creative with that. As far as the dogs, um, I'm not walking in the gate with the dog. I will shake the gate. Dogs could come. That's fine. I'm going to scream, holler for the person's name. Because a lot of times if the dogs are right out front or out back, whatever door we're going to, the people are home. I have even sat in the driveways. And the animals, of course, they have the invisible fence, but they can freely roam and you're in the driveway. So they could come up to that vehicle. And I would lay on the horn. I would beep, 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 beep on that horn. And then when they come out, I'd be like, "Hey, I don't want your attack dogs to get me." But I'm there. So I definitely want somebody to come out and help me while I'm there. Um, and you said double gates. I'm not really sure what double gates mean. Yeah. So I don't know what the double gates mean. So if you could elaborate on the double gates, that would be great. But that's what I do. I have the packets. I'll keep the large Lincoln Heritage envelopes so that I can put my folders and everything together neatly. And I come up there and I'm the delivery person, just like, FedEx and UPS. That's what they do. They're the delivery people. I have my ID badge and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if it does not work, you can leave that packet for those individuals to give you a call back. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, David. Let me know. All right. India said, because I have gone to a gated community who let me pass the gate, but who then I didn't know who to leave anything with or what to leave. That pre-approach letter is great. Yes, it is. Pre-approach letter is phenomenal. It is. So also the letter, your business card stapled to a folder, your 9 things every senior needs to know with the My Final Wish booklet. So you can leave a full packet of information for them with the wood grain, which is the bullet points, and just, have written on that folder, call me for the rates. And of course, when they call you for the rates, unless you can do telesales, you want to let them know, you need to see them for a quick 10 minutes. No pressure. You're a field underwriter. You are not a salesperson. A lot of times they do not want you to come in because they think that you are going to pressure them into selling or buying your product. And we do not want to pressure anyone because, as we know in the insurance industry, if you have to pressure them to buy your product, they will cancel, and that is a chargeback. We don't want any of that. Great question, David. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else before I let you guys go? Oh, it's Falana. Hey, good to see you. I was reading the name that you have on your India, Japan. She said it's Falana. Nice to see you. I didn't know. Now I know it's you. Thank you. And again, guys, if you're just logging in and you are not on my email list, text Life Now, LIFENOW, no space, to the phone number 22828. You will receive a text stating to leave me your email address, type in your email address and hit submit, and you will be added to my list. Again, I do not spam you because I don't have time for that, but I will let you know about different courses, activities, or things like this that you may be interested in. All right. So I'm going to go take my NyQuil and go to bed. Love you guys. Have a wonderful holiday. If you celebrate, do not be stressed out if you were not able to buy a lot of gifts or any gifts. You're here and your family is here, and that is a gift in itself. All right. So I'm out of here. Bye.